Hello, good evening, all, and you are welcome to day three. Sorry, day three Python one class because we skipped one day because of the email. So just guys, just feel relaxed, sit back, and enjoy yourself. It's going to be an interesting dive. So good evening, and let's start. No need to wait. No need to waste time. So we're taking Python today, and I guess most of you have been looking out for this project. You've heard about Python, Python 3, Python 3. So before we actually dive into Python, it's good you start getting yourself used to what you are doing and what the threat landscape is. If I may ask, what is the threat landscape for the physical security in Nigeria in recent times? Because if you don't understand threat landscape, you will not know what skill. It's the threat landscape that actually give birth to the demand of skill. So I had asked you people to do a research on the cyber threat landscape currently in, so that you don't just come to class and you're just learning, you don't, cyber threat landscape currently. Did anybody do anything? Hello, Abby? Am I the only one? Am I the only one here? Nobody's saying anything. Let's chat. Let's take some minutes to chat. Because it's in chatting you understand, you flow better. Sorry. Can somebody tell me the current? You can drop your chat on this thing before we start taking Python, because it's good you understand the end game from the beginning. Sorry, it's a little bit cold here. It's good you understand the end game from the beginning. So what is the current threat landscape? I don't know if you do. Yes. Okay. I'm sure you all can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just type yes. It's like nobody's hearing me. Okay. All right. I'm trying to activate. Sorry, just give me 1 minute. The content downloaded. Sorry, this one downloaded. Let me share my screen so that we all can talk before we actually move. So that you don't just. It's not. This is not a classroom, the regular classroom training where you just come and learn and you don't really have an idea. Somebody fills you with some cock and bull story. You don't have an idea of where you're going to. Now, I think this is Gartner, and this is actually an incident response. Cybersecurity must have your incident response. Build an incident response plan, develop a detailed response playbook, conduct regular tabletop exercises. So basically, this is what people pay for. I hope you understand. Now, how your skill translates to this, that is actually what people pay for. So the earlier you start getting used to the threat landscape, the better. So that is what people pay for. Those are the skills that actually, those back end skills that you're trying to drive, this is what it results to at the front end. What people see, what people touch. Not everybody has this Superman skill of Python and the rest you want to learn. So this is actually how it goes. There is actually a build incident response plan in the bank. So maybe those working in the bank can help us out. Tell us how it is with the bank. If there is a breach, maybe you know what and what do you guys do? How do you guys actually handle it? Mr. Oluwashola, I don't know if you work in the IT department. Maybe you can actually tell us um, how you guys do so that you can see what the skill is. There's something I'm really trying to paint clearly. You understand? So that you can see. Oh, you don't work in the IT department. There's something I'm trying to drag out. So there's something called this, if I'm not making mistake. Okay, there's something called this. There's something called this. There's something called this. You understand? There's something called this. So where I'm going to, it's if you just come here, there's something called this log reading. Are you saying this? So on most occasions, you meet things like this so that you get to start actually this front end. Are you getting it? This front end. You understand? On most occasions, you meet things like this, solutions like this already customized from the front end that you just actually. This is not a cyber. This is not what you do as a cybersecurity professional. This is a CM outfit. Now, why we say you should learn how to actually develop your own tool so that you can, when you see a tool, by the time you use it once from the front end, as a back end programmer, you understand how the tools work. Now, the Linux that you are using is a what? Is a conglomerate of tools. Sorry, thousands of tools are in it. So you can learn how to develop. You can learn how to develop your own tool. You understand how it works. Now, when you understand how it works, it gives you a company. That is what makes you very, very attractable and highly demanding in the market. So, back to what we're supposed to treat today. Let me just quickly run through the threat landscape so that you see what people actually pay for. Now, in all your life cycle as a SOC, you understand? I don't know if I've shown you guys the architecture, SOC architecture, so that you can start understanding what it is from here. Sorry, let me just want to, I think I used to have the diagram. Just want to show you the rows. Yes, it is. Okay, if I can't get a diagram, but I can tell you from experience, I'm trying to just see a diagram. It makes it more easier to explain. Okay, I think this actually says it all. So, so at least from threat intelligence, you can understand what that means. Now, threat hunting, now research and development, ticketing, the CM, log collection, reporting, aggregation. Now, in a typical SOC, you understand, you will not actually see what offensive. They are not really offensive people. Now, it is here the offensive comes in. I'm just trying to let you know, because you are learning some knowledge that you might not even use in 3 years of your working. That is because of the way it is. Now, what makes you different is because you can develop your own tool, something like this from the back end. That is what you're about to learn. So it's what you should give your best and don't actually weary out along the line. You understand? So basically, what we'll be doing all through from here is we'll be taking Python. You take Python for 2 weeks, then we'll now take Python hacking. At least you should be able to create your own keylogger, a port sweeper. You should be able to create your own nmap. So write backend script. So you are more like a software developer, but you don't do front end. That's just the difference. Now, let's not waste time. You can open your Kali Linux. When you open your Kali Linux, now we can use 3 interfaces, but we'll start with 1 today. The first 2 or 3 days training, you start with your interpreter. Just type Python 3. So it takes you to your interpreter. That's where you start. You will not write any script. You just practice commands today. From the next class, you now actually practice script. Now, on this particular interpreter, you use this interpreter to actually check if your Linux commands are correct. So we use interpreter to actually learn most of the commands today. Then from the next class we meet, we'll start writing what? Script. So we'll be looking at strings. We'll be looking at math. We'll be looking at variables. We'll be looking at functions, Boolean expressions, relational operator, conditional statement, loops, and lists. Now, if you have written bad scripts before, it sounds more like a walkover because they are a little bit similar. It's just that the syntaxes are different. Now, for everybody who ever came, you only do what? You do something like this. So I think this is the first point of writing any. So once it prints it out like this, in batch scripting, you actually do what? You use what? Echo, but here you use print. Now, let me control D. In case you want to actually create a Python script, which you normally do, you use gedit. Let's call it test1.py. But normally, if you actually want to do this, you create what? A directory. Make directory, so that all your Python programs, make directory Python programs, because you want to start writing programs here. So, and when you understand clearly, I just want to address some issues. When you understand clearly what you are supposed, where the demand lies in the real world. Now, you are seeing ransomware, develop detailed response playbook. Now, when they say response playbook, it's because those responses are what? They are skills that you use to actually react to an attack. Are you getting it? That is actually where you come in. Now, this routine exercise is for drill. The drill is actually different skills coming together when any positive false positive, or whatsoever trigger or metrics you've used to actually mark. That's the job of the CISO. Mark what? Your cyber resilience. When there is any glitch, there is a drill. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean by drill. Like, if I am the one managing, our office is in Molina Towers, and I am the chief security officer. Now, the security team has a drill, the one that stands, because it's a fixed perimeter domain. Now, the one that stands at the gate, the one that stands at the other gate, maybe we position security guys at every level. Now, they have their trigger alerts: code red, code blue, code yellow, code green, code down. For every of those code levels, there is a drill they need to do at what? At the floor level, at the gate level, you understand? Depending on the code of the security alert. Do you guys understand me? Now, same as what? cybersecurity. Now, when you are gathering incidents, depending on the code alert, there are drills you actually. Now, if it's a major attack, that's why in that conference I asked the guy, how often do you get a major? That means a code red attack. There is a drill already. Now, depending on what kind of SOC they are running, the drill comes into play. Now, those drills are not just, they are drill you respond to what? With skills. Like if there is a drill that there is a suspected virus, malware, so whether you shut down the first network, shut down the second network, perform some analysis to actually thread the network, segment the network, isolate that particular place, then actually start actually doing threat intelligence, attack the network. Depending on what has been set down, that is where your skills come to play. So please, I would like us to take a pause so that you don't just learn and you don't understand what you want to use it to apply. So that is what, so if they say there are armed robbers at the gates, the first gate, second gate. Now, maybe the drill command is secure all the main door. Let the first response team take an hideout. Second response team, lure the armed robbers into the first building. You understand? When isolate the someone, take a shot. Those things are called what? Drill. That is what they call this is what it means. Conduct regular tabletop exercises. So that is what they employ you as. Now, it's easier for you to actually work in a drill because you have multi-capability. You can work as a SOC person. What the diagram I wanted to show you is the first baseline is always the SOC and CM. That is where you have incident response plan, incident gathering. That is where you have incident gathering. Are you seeing it? Develop a response plan process. So all these things you are seeing are what you learn here. So it's good we actually relate it to. Now, in troubleshooting, it's better you are a back-end person, you have your own skill, you know how to run the command, you are not relying on the algorithm of a software. People will respect you better in the industry. Let's come down here. Let's actually do an extreme before we move on. This is your syllabus. This is so this is come down to CM and SOC so that you can see where the skill counts compared to the scope of work. Sorry. So all these things you see here are what are tools you use on your own, irrespective of the tools your company is using. So you are working as a CM and SOC person. The company has its own enterprise software. Like maybe you are in the sales department, you are using a software called Salesforce, Sales Navigator. The company will have their own software, but you have your own tool to actually monitor and do proper investigation on what is happening. Now, I don't know, maybe we all are telecoms. I can explain this thing better from the telecoms point of view. Now if I want to report something as a SOC security and event management person, and I have an in-depth of penetration testing, I have an in-depth of malware analysis, I have an in-depth of threat hunting. When I am reporting the case, I have a bird's view of what is already going on. So my report will be detailed. Are you getting it? So these are all you are doing here, the skills you are learning. This is what it is here. Execute recovery plan, develop a recovery plan. So all these particular stuff are skill-based and you're ready. It's just a process map. And you already have the skills to do them. You are not learning. Are you seeing what I said? Define incident severity tier. That's why I said code 1, code depending on the severity of the incident. So this basically what you do at the what? Now, depending on its responsibilities are what assigned. So it's good. I think I should share this Gartner book with you that you can understand and read more on threat landscape, because it is threat landscape that actually brings out demand for your job opportunity. So when you don't understand what the threat landscape is looking like, the skill they want, you might actually end up just not actually taking most of this skill acquisition very serious. Now, if the threat landscape is demanding more of malware analysts and threat hunter, and you are being trained as a malware analyst and threat hunter, and you don't know about it, you will take the lessons not seriously. Now, enough of this. Let's get straight to action. Like I said, if you want to write programs, you from Kali, you actually create a directory called Python programs. You can now navigate to what, if you're less, you see Python programs now. So you can navigate to Python programs. Are you clear? So when you are here, you can just say Python 3. Now, if you want to create a Python script, like I said, let's do one. We are not using Nano, we are using gedit. You can say test 1.py. So it takes you to gedit. So like every other script, /bin/python 3. Sorry. So you start what? Coding. But we'll not do anything here today. We'll actually learn the code. So it's from here you start writing the code. But before we start doing anything, like what we are doing is just the basic. Unlike what you did in your Perico site, you will learn the language, then you now learn the hacking. Now, we just, for the first 2 weeks, we'll be learning different things in Python, how to write strings, how to write maths, how to write functions, how to write Boolean expressions. Then after learning all that, we'll now come to writing scripts, specific hacking skills, what it's used for and what they are used for in penetration testing. So if you are happy, let's close this for today. Then let's come back to the interpreter. Let me clear. So we'll be taking strings first. So we are doing what? Just type Python 3. We are using the interpreter. So we are looking at strings. We'll write some couple of them. Then we'll now move to maths. Now, writing a string is just like writing a sentence. It prints it out. So you just write print. You put your double. My name is Michael. It's as simple and straightforward. You can write multiple. You can write it on another way. So you can do concatenation. I think we should be taking it step by step so that we actually rush this in 2 weeks. It's always very boring at this stage. So that we rush this in 2 weeks. So you can do, so if you're on your system, just actually be screenshotting and sending to me so that I can know you are following me. So it's always boring at this stage because we are not writing any scripts. So we can do concatenation. So that's concatenation. Can we take a pause here because after now we're actually moving to math. So that is basically how you print out strings. Okay, that's fine. So for this particular interpreter, the commands are different. Like if I want to clear, I just write Control L. Are you seeing Control L clears the screen? I'll type it again. Print. Now, if you want to make it so that people will understand what you are doing, you can just write strings here, so that when people are reading it, you understand what you did. Are you seeing it? So you can still write print. So you can leave yours like this so that somebody looking at it will actually understand what you're doing. It's only one person that is actually typing. We're actually going a very long way. It's a long. We're actually looking at all these things I've mentioned. Let me just let me copy them out and actually paste it on the WhatsApp handle. Sorry. We'll be looking at this and lots more in the first 2 weeks so that you can have an in-depth insight on it. Good, that's it. So we'll be looking at all these things. You can have an in-depth before we now go into scripting, writing scripts, Python hacking scripts. So we are taking strings currently, although we still come back and look at different kinds of what complex scripting. You can read those one up in notes. You understand, so that we don't waste so much time on one topic. So when I introduce it, we type it, you actually go and read detail. If you have any question, you come back and ask me. So I think somebody is trying to ask question. Okay, it's like you are joining two things together. Are you are joining concat? For those, sorry, do you do Excel? Now, when they say concatenate, normally in Excel, so that let me start from the Excel point of view, you understand it better. Now, if this is Shola and this is what Toby, in normal Excel, when you say concatenate, are you saying this is concatenate? You are joining this and this. You put close brackets. If you give you Shola Toby, are you saying it? So that is, oh, okay. Is that no? I said you can leave comments so that somebody looking at what you are doing will understand what you did. Now let me just show you something. Control L. Let me do Control D. I'm back here. Let me come back. I think I've written some scripts down. Let me ls. I think I wrote some scripts, some Python script. I can't remember where I saved it. Let me see. Python. I did some Python scripts. Okay. Okay. So those are scripts already written down. Let me bring it up. It's been a while I've actually. Okay. Are you seeing this? This is a script already written, and I think I actually let me see. So this is what you'll be doing from tomorrow. Okay, let's come back and look at the last one. Let me save and close. It's more easier if you're just coming in. Let me see. I think Python 101.4.py. That one is longer. Let me clear the screen. Gedit. So good. This one is longer. It's going to about 90 something script. So good. So you see, when you look at this, you see, you understand what I'm doing. I put relational and Boolean operators. Now all this, it's you can run it now. When you put a hash condition, this hashtag in front of anything in a, it means it will not execute that particular, it will jump it. It's like just so somebody reading the script can understand what you are doing. Now let's come and actually run this. You can see I'm not sure I actually finished this while loop. It will not run because I think I slept off. Let me save. Those other ones will run, but this one will not run because I've not finished that while loop. So if we say Python 3, Python, it will give an error 101 that for.py. Okay. Although there's an error, but it ran everything except that last part. So these are all the commands on it. Sorry, these are all the commands on it that has actually been made. So so all those things you're seeing are what commands already on it. So when you go back to it, so it has executed all the. So that's it. So you can see we've done looping, we've done tuples, we've done list. These are things you'll be looking at. We've done relational Boolean operator. So those are what we are just starting. We are starting with strings. So we'll be looking at couples of them today and different examples. And I've actually created some here too. So these Python strings. So this is another kind of strings. You look at this too. So this is another strings we look at. So print. So we'll look at this. Now, this one is another example. So we'll come here. Let me screenshot this and actually put it so that we do this and reproduce it on the WhatsApp handle. So this tax 1 on string. So this one, a variable was declared. So that's comment. It actually helps people understand what you're doing. Now let's do this. This looks more. Let's do this together. Define that variable. Yeah, that's okay. Let's do this new stuff. Define the variable and print out all this stuff on it. Define the variable and print out all this stuff on it. I think we should be able to do that. I think you do it first while I wait for you. Do you see concatenation there? That last thing, that last print is what they call concatenation. That last print concatenated string. Are you seeing it? So that is actually how you. So do this. Define that variable, then print out all those stuff. Print str, print. So you now tell me what actually is the difference from what you actually, we look at what makes it different. So let me start mine here. Let me close this. Let me clear the screen. So I'll just share Python 3. Sorry. Have you done yours? What's that? Yes, but you can clear your screen. Please clear your screen. Clear your screen. Control L. Clear your screen so that you can go up. Please, this is the task to be done. This is the task to be done. We've passed that stage. Can you do this, please? So please do that. Declare that variable. We all have actually written str is equals to are you saying? So it will start printing now. Print because a variable has been declared. Now str open bracket, that's actually the use of tuples. Zero, it will print, that zero tells it to print what? The first. Are you saying it? So it will print the first letter. It will print the third and the fifth letter to the fifth letter. So just if you continue like that, it will actually be telling you what to do. So if you write 2 and 5, so those are what you were looking at yesterday. It will print what? So a variable was declared, sorry. Oh, a variable was declared. So do that, and actually it's simple and straightforward. That's why I actually put here. So you see what it will reproduce. So you do that as test of string. So we move to the next. We take we take we take this, we take list, we take string. So just get to the environment today. So from the next class, we now start looking at writing it in a script format. So if you have done this, just let me say it. So the second one asks for concatenation. The last one is what? Concatenation. Now it's saying print str plus now if I write this like this, will it print? It will not print. You understand? Because we have not defined it as string. So those are little things I actually want you to know. Now there's a difference. Let me now there's a difference between this and what I wrote in the first time. So we look at that again now. But if I say print str plus, I must declare this what as a string. It will now print it. Now, what exactly is a string? That is what the definition, so that you can understand the definition. Or I'll share the notes with you. So this is the definition of what a string. A strings in Python are identified as a contiguous set of characters represented in the quotation mark. You understand? So if it's not in a quotation mark, it is not recognized what? As a string. That is why you saw when we printed this, there was an error. You understand? Because it will not concatenate until it is a string. Until you actually make it a string, set of characters what in a that this is when it becomes a string, then it can now what? Now, why? Because this has been declared as a variable. A variable was declared and it's a string. And when we are declaring it, we declared it as a what? As a string. So you can't concatenate what is not a string. It has to be declared what? As a string. So I don't know, nobody is responding yet. Let me know if you're actually making progress. Now, the second one simply orders it to take, when you see that bracket, it starts from 0. It means what it's saying is you print out what? It should print out what? Hello. It should print out what? The first character. Now you can still do something like this. That's the length. It shows you 13. You see, this one is not there. Now, what that means, you are telling it to print out the length of the string. So when you count it, it's 13. So I don't know if I should screenshot my own screen and share with you. Okay, let me see. Like, guys are turning off. So that's it. So it's not just reproducing what is on the diagram, please, but it's understanding clearly what you are doing. Because when you come back to ask me some questions, it shows clearly you don't understand it. Now, a string, let's actually get the definition of a string clearly. So this is the definition of what a string is: a set of characters actually in a contiguous card represented by quotation marks. That is what a string is. Is the definition of a string. So if you don't know this, no voice again. You can't hear me. Hello. Can you guys hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. I can
Okay,
hear
all
you.
right. That's fine. It's good to see you here. So that is a string. That is a string. Now we look at the next thing to look at, because we'll be taking them step by step so that we get used to all of them. Now we'll be looking at list, what list is, and what we can do with it. So, but before we go there, I think we should actually just stop a while and take a look at maths. Let's do some maths with it. So let's do some maths with it so that we can clear that out of the way before we actually go into. So I can do Control L, it clears my screen. Print 50 plus 50. Hashtag addition. Are you getting it? So print 50. So you can use what I'm trying to say. You can use the Python to do all this. Hashtag subtraction. You can print 50 times 50. Hashtag multiplication. So you can print 50 divided by 50. Hashtag division. So you can print 50 plus 50 minus 50 divided by 50. hashtag commands. That's more like a board mass. Now we have modulo, so you can print 50. So that's actually what it's called. These are arithmetics. Hashtag modulo. That's 0. So we have what we call floats and numbers with leftover, which we'll look at in detail. So I just want us to run through this basic mathematics. So we can do something like this: 50, this hashtag numbers with leftover. So that takes care of maths. So I'll pause a bit so that you guys can actually do it. So so that we can merge both lectures together. I want us to actually move to variables. Our variables are declared. So we look at variables. Then before we now actually go back to list. So I'll pause here because the next thing we'll be doing is what variables. So the next class we'll now look at it in details. Then before we take this 6 times, we're now moving into Python hacking properly. So can we quickly run through this just for the fun of it, because we all know mathematics. Just run through this before we actually look at variables and methods. So after this, we're looking at hashtag variables and methods. So like I said, if you have actually written Python script and batch scripts before, it will be very easy for you to actually walk through this. Now we are declaring a variable called quote. Quote is equals to, now the quote is actually a string because anything in quotation mark, set of contiguous character in quotation mark are referred to what as strings. We say all is fair and love in life. So we've defined what a variable and it's a string. Now the first thing we do is what we say we should print the print length of the quote. Now please notice if I type something like this, it's going to give me issues. It's not going to print. Now why are we using double brackets? One, there is one open, you print it, it's not going to go because what you defined the first place is what? A capital letter. So when you come back, you must actually make the quote what? It is what? Case sensitive. So it tells you 28 in length. So we can actually print. Let me see what you guys are doing. So if you have any, or you have a question, or am I moving too fast? I believe the mathematics is actually straightforward. Let me screenshot it and just share it with you guys. I feel it's straightforward. We all know it's just basic mathematics. Let me screenshot that part and share with you. Anybody that has a question, you can actually just let me know. So this is basic and straightforward.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay,
I did the mathematics whole, but I took I took another dimension. Maybe I should screenshot it, but actually it didn't print. It didn't give me the expected result I expect.
okay,
So I
print,
just
print,
have to
let's
do.
see. Let's see. Somebody say it can no longer see my screen. Are you guys still seeing my screen?
Yes, I can say your screen.
Or should I actually on stop the screen and share it? Let me stop and share. So it's getting to action time. I need you guys to turn up. So this is the main action. It will soon be happening. We'll be using it to hack soon.
I just sent to you now.
Okay, let me see.
I use Yeah, I'm using the.
No, 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 no. This is wrong. This is
Okay,
wrong. Your syntax is wrong. That is actually why I showed you the format. Now,
okay,
the format is not the same format you have in normal mathematics. You will be shown,
okay,
no, it's not the same format. Python
okay,
has its own arithmetic. As you can see, if you come back here, you understand. You don't have something like this 50 double slash 50. Did you see the result? One. You don't have something like that in mathematics.
no,
So, good. Now, it has its own arithmetics, which you actually, I'm just showing sample. So it's a little bit different from what you are used to. So that syntax is wrong. That's why you're having challenge.
okay,
Good. So I will share more syntax table with you later so that you can see mathematical syntax and what they do. So now we're moving to variables. We're moving to variables. Now we can actually come back and actually print um, code dot lower quote upper upper. Please notice how the brackets are. Those are the two differences between Python and we can come back and print code title case. We put title. So that's title case. So it's when you are writing any script and you actually should I clear the screen and we take it up. So this is part of quote and variable. We actually will still declare we declare on another variable, second variable. No, we're looking at variable. We declare the variable called what? Quote. So first we look at the length of the quote. Okay, I'm coming. Let me just look at what you did. Okay, I'm sending one now. So Mr. Agbalan, can you see my screen now? So we declared a variable. We declared a variable. Let's spend some time here with the variable. Let's play around it. Now, if you can see my screen, just reply me on WhatsApp, please. So we declared a variable called quote. Now the quote is equals to it's a string, and I said string. String is anything a contiguous character guided by what quotation mark. Now all is fair and love in life. So we looked at it. Now now we actually looked at we declared the length of the so it's good you understand it from this scratch. So let's spend more time here. Let's actually look at another variable. Sorry, 1 minute. So you can say name is equals to what? We're looking at I'll put my own name, Michael. That's the string. Now age is equals to what? 35. This is an integer. So what we can do, oh sorry, I can't come back here. Okay, age is equals to, so that anybody reading it to understand, you can just come here, hashtag. I wanted to put hashtag, that's integer. Now GPA, GPA is equals to 3.4. You can put hashtag, that's a float. Anything that actually has a decimal point is what a float. You can now come down. Let's print this first so that you can see concatenation. Open bracket, open string, my My name is open bracket. We want to actually call the variable name, and I am you have to convert this to string. The age is not a string. It cannot be written here. You have to convert age to string. So in converting age to string, and I am sorry, string. We are calling the function str age. So we are calling this function age plus put finish the put. Sorry. Wait. But, how is not returning? Let's take it again. Wow. Yes. Very bad. Sorry, 1 minute, guys. So it's having a syntax error. Sorry, let me leave here. Um, do edit Python. So I guess 1 number 2. Sorry, just give me some minutes. I don't know why that stuff is in Python 101. Okay, this is all the stuff. Okay, that's it. Oh, there's not supposed to be a quote in it, so that's the mistake. Because I've written all this before, so if we run this, say, so I'm trying to see where I'm making a mistake. So there's no quotation mark in it. That's why we're having issues. There's no quotation mark in it. Control. I was wondering why we are having errors. So let's come back to this place. Control. Okay. So if you come back and say name equals to Michael, age is 35, the GPA is 3.7, 7, hashtag float. Print. Let's take it step by step. Float. My name is Noah. Why are you not calling out my phone? Sorry, please go. I think we should use. Sorry, let me see what you guys are doing. I think we should just use the. Okay, we have passed this stage. I'm trying to actually look at the Control L. I'm trying to actually look at the next quote, but I'm actually getting some bugs. Let me exit Control D. Let me come here, gedit. I think we should use this. It gives it more. Um, it makes it more simple to use. Gedit Python 101/2.py. Okay, so okay, um, save Python 3. So that's it. Oh, it did not print the name here too. Okay. Oh, I see. I think I have to get back to you on this particular stuff. Let me work on it. But let's just use it to actually learn the next edit Python 101/2.py. So we're taking variables. Sorry, Mrs. So talk to me. Talk. Are you asking any question? Sorry, please let me know your question. I just want to know why this thing it's a complex concatenation. I don't know why it's not printed. How do you save your Python file? Is it in gedit? You're not in gedit yet. You have not created any Python file. You understand? You have not created any Python file. Yes, Mr. Yusuf, do you have a question? You have not created any Python file. Okay, all right, that's fine. All right. So we can look at this too. Let me screenshot some of this so that we can look. I think this is where we started from. It goes up to this place. So let's just finish this. Then we'll now move to list. So I think let's look at the next one. So, so Mrs. Temitope, you have actually not created any file. We have not started writing script. This is you are using what you are using is called an interpreter. So if age is equals to plus equals to 1, plus to 19, age. Mr. Solomon, you asking a question, plus equals to 1, print age. So we were just trying to look at variables. I don't know why that something was not bringing back that variable, but it's a concatenation. I think we'll treat it. I'll treat that and we'll actually resolve it in the next class. So we'll be looking at lists and we'll list this and actually see what it gives us. So the next thing we'll be taking is list. I just wanted us to actually finish off. So list is a most versatile pattern compound that a list contains items separated by commas and enclosed in a square bracket. So we'll look at some lists and we'll actually write them straight. You can actually try this out. Sorry. So I will actually leave this by actually you declare the list. List is equals to ABCD 78 2.23 John and 70.2. Tiny list is equals to 123 then John. Now notice ABCD and John, they actually what strings. Why the rest of them? One is an integer, the other two what are floats. I don't know if you can actually identify them. Now, while ABCD is what a string, 786 is actually an integer, the rest are what floats. Now, when you print list, it prints the complete now because it's a float, it has a continuous stuff. Now, when you print list, it prints the first digit. So try your hands out on it. That's a more straightforward stuff because variable is a little bit it has some syntax issue. Try your hands on this. So you come here, let me lead you in. You write list is equals to square bracket. They're always in square bracket. To actually make this a string, you write ABCD. There should be a comma. 786. This is what an integer. They will have John. John is a string. Then there should be a comma. Then we have a float. Then close bracket. Then we have tiny list. One word is equals to open bracket 123 comma then John close bracket. So from here you can now start printing. Print list. So it's as simple and straightforward. These ones are actually straightforward. So you can try your hands hard on it. You can come back and say print 0. It brings out ABCD because it's printing the first word. Now, if you say print, let's try out what you actually did in the last one. Let's see if it's going to work here. So let me see what you've done for the four of them. Then we'll move to the next. Sorry, have I lost you guys because nobody's saying anything anymore? Hello, have I lost?
Yes, I'm with you. We're trying to.
Hello, can you all hear me? Please print 0.3. Print 0.3. Print 0.3. Miss, I'm talking to you, Mrs. I said you should print this. Print list. Sorry. 0.3. And see what does it give? Hello, Temitope, can you see what is happening? They call this slicing. Now it's taking integer, it recognizes integer. Sorry, it recognizes strings. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I'm actually having network issues here, but I get you guys. You all can hear me, right? Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Go on.
but others are not saying. Somebody said he lost network. Yes. I've not shared the screen. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. We take a pause here so that we understand what we're doing. We're looking at lists. So somebody had, yeah, we use it for slicing. You need to actually to print out different, Mrs. Grace. You need to print out different numbers in a list. So let's actually let's not complicate things. Let's take it step by step. Let's do Windows L. Now let's create our own list. Now what the list we have from here is simply this. Sorry, the last list we're looking at actually has couple of let's make it only integers. Let's not add, sorry, only strings. Let's not mix it with integers and floats. Now let me come here so that you can properly understand it when you are mixing the stuff together. Now let me type list equals to ABCD. Tony, Shola, Kola. Okay, let's go. Now we now say print. So what we're looking at printing is a combination of the print list. Let's say print list. We have printed this. Now let's say print so that we can look at list. It is used for what? Slicing. So it prints the first one. Now because it always takes the first integer. Now let's do slicing. This is what they call this slicing. Let's add one. Now let's add two. Three. And let's add one. Four. So please, can somebody tell me what this particular program is telling us? Can somebody tell me what this particular program is telling us? Because it has just answered the question asked. So let's play around. Let's change this to one. Put bracket so that we see. Let's change this. Let's play around it. Let's change this to so that before I actually do explanation, we should be able to actually tell us what it's telling us. I don't know. Can you guys still all hear me? Because everywhere is quiet.
Yes.
Okay. So this is called slicing. So I want us to actually look at it very well. So well, you can look at different depending on what you want to print out. So you can look at what it does. You understand?
This
So
this looked like the tooth that we used yesterday on the road, like hawk and cut and grape.
like I said, if you're actually used to Kali, sorry, if you are used to Kali lineups, you will not find this particular stuff, mostly batch file. So you should be able to actually, I didn't want to actually mix integer. You should be able to actually from here get what those things are doing. What it simply means 0 and 1 are actually the same. Now it splits it from 2, 3, 4. Now when you take 0 to 4, it prints the whole at 4. Now when you take 0 to 1, it prints because 0 and 1 here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this particular program recognizes 0 and 1 as the same stuff. Now this from 0 to 2, this from 0 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Now this means just remove 1 and print the rest. Print only 1. Remove 2, 1, 2, and print the rest. That's actually what is telling you. So on most occasions, until you start actually playing around these codes, you don't understand what those functions actually are. So let me share this with us. Okay. Mrs. Grace, I don't know if I've actually answered your question too. Have I answered your question too? So let me see what else can we take. So we've actually looked at strings, we've looked at maths, we've looked at a little bit of variables, which will actually come back to. Then we have actually taken lists. Let me see if we can take tuples today. I think we should take tuples. It's almost still the same thing. Now, you will not tell me what is the difference between tuple and what list and what strings. So So, okay, the last one is what? List tuples and dictionaries. I think we should finish those stuff. So let's take tuples so that you can see the difference between them. Now, this is tuples. I actually the definition, they will now look at. So you see the difference between list. So we're taking tuples. So we're taking tuples. We're taking tuples. So let me share what we need to do. So this is tuples. As you can see, it's in an open bracket, not a square bracket. So let's get that done. Let's try that out for so that I believe now everybody can understand what those parentheses are, what they do inside the bracket. So let's see how we manipulate that. So you can try that out. So that's tuples. So a variable was declared, tuple is equals to that, tiny tuple is equals to that. So print all those out before we now go to dictionaries. So let me see what you guys are doing. So I can start from here. Tuple equals to this. Then tiny tuple, then we'll print tuple. So let me see what you guys are doing. Let me start here. Let me see. Tuples. Sorry, why are you having that problem? Tuple is equals to open bracket space. Let's do it together here. Comma 786, comma 2.23, comma John, then comma 70.2. So can you look at your stuff very well? I think you're making a mistake. There's no space after that 2.23. You need to put a space before you add the comma. You understand? Are you miss? Do you see what the after that 2.23? There's no space. That's why you're having that problem. Space that 2.23. I just told you there's no space. Put space before you add the comma. Okay. All right, that's fine. So let's move to the next one. So tiny tuple equals 123, then John. So, so you can now start printing. Print. So I think from there we can actually move to the next. I've shared my screen. I don't know. Are you not seeing my screen? Let me screenshot this and actually share. I've shared my screen, except I have to reshare it. This is the first one I did. I've done the first one. So what makes you see as you are putting all these skills together, the true test of mastery is when you do a simulator test. So it shows you if you really understand it and everything by actually display. That's why the simulator makes it different, because anybody can copy and paste and rewrite. So it's when you are using the simulator you can now actually, okay, that's it. Somebody has actually done his own part. So that's I do we have concatenation there? Sorry, one minute, please. 1 minute, please. Okay. Um, let me see your screen, please. Okay. Concatenate here. Two that concatenation two tuples or tiny tuples. Godwin Chukuma, you've been quiet all through. I've not seen your screen. I've not seen what you're doing. You have a full house here, but everybody actually has been quiet. Are you guys here, or maybe you just turned on the system? Mr. Ilori, okay, I've seen Mr. Kusola. Everybody is here, but people have been quiet. I've not seen. I've only seen two screens. Okay. If we move on, we actually take dictionaries. That's the last part to take for today. Before we actually we take dictionary, so you see the difference between this dictionary. So that's dictionary. So let's actually this is a little technical because it did not actually um, do it the way it's been done, but let's give it a shot and actually get it done. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, so Solomon, let me see. Okay, that's fine. I think I should wait for you people. I think I'm rushing you people. Let's wait a bit. Let everybody finish. Let's all finish the tuples. Let all finish the vote. Let me wait till like 9:25. Just give me some minutes, please. wonderful, Mr. Ikene. That's wonderful. Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I tell you what, that's wonderful. Hello, can you hear me? Mr. Kennedy, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm just seeing that. You said what? Start like there way for correctly a particular line after you press enter. It's there way to go back. And with the interpreter, I don't think so. 1 minute. Like you're actually using an interpreter. With the interpreter, I don't think so. I only know two commands. I know command. You can do command control L. It clears the screen and you can start again. So should we take dictionaries or actually leave it to the next class? So basically what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to actually look at functions, look at everything so that by the time we start writing scripts, we all actually know what we're doing. So we'll actually defining functions. The next class will come. So I think I should give you the dictionary as an homework to do. Let's not do it here. Go home and actually do it. So um, I think I like what Mr. Ikene did so that it shows we are. So 1 minute. So you can get this done. This dictionary, you can get this done. Then when we meet, that should be Saturday. You can actually now take more examples on it. So please, I want to know beforehand, are we shutting down Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or we continue the class? Because you guys are the one who paid. When you say we don't shut down, I'm here. If you say we shut down, I shut down. Friday, Saturday, Monday, are we shutting down? Friday, no, we have to vote. It's not just only one person. We are 14 here already. So I think we are about 13. So everybody votes. Your name, you put your name and you vote. Shutting down, not shutting down. So I will now, based on that, I can take a decision. Are you saying we should shut down? Because it's Good Friday. Like Good Friday, I have night vigil. But who am I to go for night vigil? So I will have to wait here, finish with you people before I go for night vigil. Yes, because you know some people, I don't want to come here. Okay, good, that's the third person. You know, it's Good Friday, Saturday, bad Saturday, bad Saturday. I don't know. Good Friday, bad Saturday, Easter Sunday, Easter Monday. So you okay, no shutting down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no shutting down. Okay. Easter Sunday, nobody comes on Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday is free. That's Easter Sunday. So we have Good Friday, we have Good Saturday, we have Good Monday. So Okay, all right. Eh, Mr. 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 Yusuf, I think you are the only odd one out. He said we should shut down to Tuesday. When the momentum is just building, you don't know how many things you will learn from now to Tuesday. So I think we are not shutting down. So we've learned a lot today. We've looked at strings, we looked at tuples, we looked at mathematics, we looked at dictionary. Now, when we come on Saturday, we now actually, I'm talking about next week, not now. I'm talking about next week, not now, because next week is actually Easter. When we come on Saturday for Python, we should be looking at writing it now on the Python script. So I will shut down a bit. Let's take, we call it my name. Ask me anything. So let's always do a 30 minutes ask me anything session. Let's always do a 30 minutes ask me anything. So let's do a 30 minutes ask me anything. Oh, you want to shut down? Mrs. Grace, you said we should shut down. I thought you said no shutting down. So let's do a 30 minutes M&A. But we now have two now. We say we should not shut down. Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, then that's actually. Oh, Miss. Okay, so we should shut down. Shut down. That means we have three shut down. Now that is Mr. Yeah, I think we should meet somewhere in the middle. I think we should meet somewhere in the middle. Lectures on Friday, Saturday. Sunday normally is an holiday, then we take Monday off. If that's okay by everybody, we can actually take to that so that we actually have a balance. So there's a 2 days holiday, then Friday and Saturday, we actually take lectures. If that is okay with everybody, we can actually work with that. Okay, I think we should do it this way. Please, let's work with this. Friday and Saturday, there'll be lectures. Then Sunday, the holiday starts till Monday, no lectures. We all resume back on Tuesday. I just want us to have, but it's still next week though, it's not here. So I don't know if you have any questions to ask at the M&A, then we actually short, okay, we still have 30 minutes to go. Sunday, normally we don't come on Sundays, please. We don't come on Sundays for now until the simulator training. We don't come on Sundays for now. So Sunday is out of the equation. Sunday is actually an holiday. Then we add Monday to it so that people can relax. So it's Mondays to Saturdays. So if we don't have anything to treat, I think we should go through what we've learned. Then we pick it up from here tomorrow in the Linux class. So the Linux class tomorrow will be looking critically at things like this. What Mr. Solomon was actually trying to show me. Let me do command control D. So let me just show you. So if somebody say cat etc shadow. Now you should be able to look at this. All these things you see has meaning. All these things you see, they have meaning. Like if you're looking at this is my hash file. Now this hash file is what you are seeing when you go back here. So this is the hash. Oh, sorry, please. Like that, we'll be looking. Can you see my screen? You see all these things you see, like this, they have meaning. You understand? This is the password. This thing you are seeing here, this star, that's the password. All these things you see, they have meaning. All these things you see. So we look in depth into it tomorrow, then so that you now know what this particular stuff is. So I don't know. I think I typed shadow. He was actually looking at this. So not knowing that the password is actually not here. Are you saying the password is not here? This is where the password is. It's a shadow file. This is the hash. This is what you pick and you actually crack out the password. But in the password, it's actually just, this is what you have. This is what, all these things you see, they have meaning. So you look at it very well tomorrow and you look at what all these things mean. So it still takes you back to what? The file architecture. You understand? So that's what we'll be looking at tomorrow. We'll be looking in depth into something like this. Then hopefully within 2 weeks, we should have finished all the basics. We'll now move into proper hacking. So that's actually where we start trying out our skills and actually using it to do real stuff. So I still wait if anybody has further questions to ask. We can actually treat that before we go. Okay, in the absence of no question, so I should just end the class so that we can all go and sleep. So thanks all for coming around. We'll see you tomorrow by 7:30.